Welcome back to the channel, and if you're here for the first time, thank you for stopping by. My name's Tamara Casey, and today we're going to be making the Lady Mary jacket. The Lady Mary jacket was inspired by this month's Club Grace subscription outfit offered through the Virtual Doll Convention. This fully lined long sleeve jacket features a wide collar as well as a double-breasted front and a V-point cutaway. In looking for information about this jacket, I found that this particular style was inspired by Lady Mary Crowley from the Downton Abbey series. The thing that I particularly liked about it was its ability to transcend time and go from a very vintage look to a very modern look that can be worn with a shorter skirt as well as jeans. I love the aesthetics of the jacket. I think the construction's fairly easy, and I encourage you to follow along. Let's go ahead and get started. The pattern pieces that we'll be using to construct the jacket include the back section and side back, the front section and side front, the undersleeve, oversleeve, collar, and the back belt. To get our construction started, we'll take some small clips in towards all of the curved edges of the pattern pieces. The first few sewing steps include sewing the center back seam of the jacket, and then with right sides together, sewing the side back sections to the back section. With our back constructed, we'll grab our front facing as well as our side front sections and get those two pieces sewn together. When pressing the seam allowance on the front portion of the jacket, you do want to take your scissors and take a small clip in towards the seam allowance at the base of the front facing. When you press this seam open, you do want to ensure that that side front section is pressed towards the center front point before you go on to the next step. With the shoulder seams pressed open, we'll grab our sleeve pieces. We'll place them right sides together and sew the sleeve fronts to the sleeve back sections. With our sleeve seams pressed open, we'll turn up the cuff edge of each sleeve 1/4 of an inch and give it a press. Before we install our sleeves, I'm going to grab my collar pieces. I'm going to make sure that those pieces are placed right sides together, and I'm going to sew up and around the collar, leaving the neck edge unsewn. We'll clip and trim down that seam allowance, turn the collar right side out, and give it a press. Once you have the collar pressed, you want to take your scissors and take some small clips in towards the raw edge of the collar, as well as the rounded edge of the neckline of the jacket. With your clips in place, you'll grab your collar, place it right sides together to the jacket, matching the center back seam to the center of the collar, and baste it in place. When your collar's pinned, you do want to confirm that you have an equal distance of jacket past the finished edge of the collar on both sides. With the collar basted in place, you do want to check underneath the collar to make sure that you didn't create any unnecessary tucks or puckers. We'll grab our sleeves, place it right sides together to the jacket at the armhole opening, and get the sleeves sewn in place. You do want to note that that smaller, more narrow piece of the sleeve does go to the back of the jacket. With our sleeves installed, we'll place the front and back of the jacket right sides together and pin the side seam and then get it sewn in place. When pinning the side seam, you do want to match the cuff as well as that underarm seam and the hemline. With our side seams pressed open, we've completed the construction of the exterior portion of the coat. Off camera, I completed the lining utilizing the exact same steps, minus the application of the collar. Next, we're going to take our lining, place it right sides together to our jacket, and get it pinned together. With everything pinned together, starting at the hemline of the jacket, we'll sew across the hem edge, up both the front openings, around the neckline, down the other front opening, and towards that opening, but leaving a space to turn the jacket right side out. When sewing the points on the front of the jacket, you do want to take some care. You want to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance and make sure that that seam pivots right at the seam where the front facing and the side piece are coming together. Then you'll continue with that 1/4 inch seam allowance down to the point and around the rest of the coat. After checking both sides carefully, if everything looks to be good, you can clip and trim down that seam allowance and turn the coat right side out. With our jacket turned and pressed, the next thing we're going to do is grab our needle and thread. We're going to press the opening that we used to turn the jacket right side out under and hand finish the lining to the outside of the coat. Once the hem is complete, we're also going to hand finish the lining of the sleeve to the inside of the cuff. Here we have a quick fit of our jacket to our doll, and I think everything's coming together really nicely. We have our lining attached at the hemline as well as at the cuff of the sleeves, and now I'm going to just mark the placement for the snaps and add some decorative buttons. The last step for the construction will be to do this little tiny back belt, which is a super easy sew. We'll attach that to the back and we'll get our final photographs. As you can see from the final photographs, Grace is a stunner in this Lady Mary jacket. As discussed at the intro to the video, I think it pairs perfectly with a long or short skirt as seen here. I noticed that the modern interpretation of this jacket often uses different plaid fabrics as well as luxurious velvets and even lightweight wool. If you have any questions about the construction of the Lady Mary jacket, please list it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending your time with me today. I invite you to hit that like and subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.